Richard the Lionheart, also known as Richard I of England, was a pivotal figure of the late 12th century, reigning as king from 1189 to 1199. The introduction to his life and era offers a window into a complex and transformative period marked by military ambition, political intrigue, and cultural exchanges. Richard is best known for his leadership during the Third Crusade, an expedition to reclaim Jerusalem from Muslim control, which earned him the moniker the Crusader King. His era was characterized by the intricate tapestry of medieval geopolitics, encompassing the power struggles of European monarchs, the influence of the papacy, and the tensions between Christendom and the Islamic world. The significance of Richard's era lies in its impact on both European and Middle Eastern history. His campaigns in the Holy Land highlighted the religious fervor and knightly valor that defined the age, as well as the shifting alliances and rivalries among Christian and Muslim leaders. For instance, Richard's famed encounters with Saladin, the Muslim sultan, were marked by both fierce battles and chivalrous gestures, such as mutual respects and negotiations, illustrating the complex dynamics of war and diplomacy. A real-world illustration of Richard's influence can be seen in the castle fortifications he constructed in Normandy, such as the Chateau Gaillard, a symbol of military innovation and strategic acumen. Another example is the enduring legacy of the chivalric code, partly shaped by the ideals Richard embodied and his exploits popularized, which influenced European knighthood and courtly culture for centuries. However, Richard's reign was not without controversy. Critics argue that his near-constant absence from England and focus on crusades strained his kingdom's finances and neglected domestic governance. His heavy taxation to fund military campaigns stirred discontent among his subjects, highlighting the tension between personal glory and kingly duty. Different perspectives on Richard's legacy complicate his historical portrayal. Some view him as a heroic figure, emblematic of the medieval knight's valor, while others critique his priorities as a ruler. Furthermore, analyzing his interactions with non-Christian cultures challenges the often romanticized narrative of the Crusades, prompting a re-examination of colonial and religious dimensions of the period. Richard the Lionheart's era is intrinsically linked to the broader themes of medieval politics, religious conflict, and cultural interchange. His life and times offer valuable insights into the motivations and consequences of the Crusades, underscoring the interconnectedness of European and Middle Eastern histories in shaping the medieval world. Richard the Lionheart's ascendancy to the English throne marked a pivotal moment in both English and medieval history. Ascending as King Richard I in 1189, following the death of his father, Henry II, Richard inherited a kingdom embroiled in internal strife and political tension. His accession was significant, not only because it brought him to power, but also because it established his influence over the Angevin Empire, which extended beyond England to include vast territories in France. This transition is critical, as it set the stage for his famed role in the Third Crusade, earning him a legendary status as a warrior king. Richard's rise to power was significant for its implications on the Crusades and European politics. Known for his military prowess, Richard's rule reinvigorated the spirit of the Crusades, as he dedicated much of his reign to pursuing Christian victories in the Holy Land. His leadership during the Third Crusade epitomized the chivalric ideals of the era, cementing his reputation and bolstering his legacy as a Crusader king. This period was marked by significant events, such as the famous Siege of Acre and his confrontations with the Muslim leader Saladin. These exemplify Richard's strategic acumen and determination, which had lasting impacts on Christian-Muslim relations and Crusader states. However, his reign was not without controversy and challenges. Richard's frequent absences from England due to his crusading efforts led to criticism and unrest at home, exacerbated by heavy taxation to fund his military campaigns. This led to tensions with his subjects and nobility, revealing a dichotomy between his role as a revered crusader and his responsibilities as king. Additionally, his captivity by Duke Leopold of Austria and subsequent ransom highlighted vulnerabilities within his rule and strained the kingdom's resources further. Richard's ascendancy and subsequent actions significantly influenced the broader context of medieval European politics and the course of the Crusades. His commitment to the Crusades reflected the deep entanglement of religious fervor and royal duty, while his military exploits in the Holy Land were instrumental in shaping perceptions of kingship and knightly virtue. In summary, Richard the Lionheart's ascendancy to the English throne was a crucial juncture that underscored his dual legacy as an iconic crusader and a contentious ruler. His impact was felt not only in his immediate reign, but also in the enduring mythos of the medieval warrior king, embodying the ideals and controversies that characterized the Crusades and European monarchy during his era. The leadership of Richard the Lionheart during the Third Crusade is a defining component of his legacy as the Crusader King, serving as a central figure in the Christian effort to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. Richard's leadership was marked by his military prowess, strategic acumen, and indomitable spirit. His role in the Third Crusade, which took place from 1189 to 1192, was pivotal in the attempt to recapture Jerusalem following its capture by the forces of Saladin in 1187. Richard's significance in this campaign cannot be overstated. Not only did he manage to assemble and lead a formidable army across Europe to the Levant, but he also demonstrated remarkable tactical leadership. His successful sieges, such as the capture of Acre, were crucial in re-establishing a Christian presence in the region. Furthermore, at the Battle of Arsuf, Richard showed considerable battlefield acumen, securing a critical victory against Saladin's forces and boosting the morale of the Crusaders. Two notable examples illustrate Richard's leadership in action. First, his decision to fortify the coastal city of Jaffa ensured a strategic position for the Crusaders, providing a lifeline for future campaigns and demonstrating his understanding of the Crusades' logistical needs. Second, Richard's negotiations with Saladin, despite their adversarial positions, showcased his diplomatic skills. Although he failed to capture Jerusalem, the Treaty of Jaffa allowed for Christian pilgrimages to the city, a significant concession at the time. Supporters of Richard often highlight his charisma and courage, attributes that inspired his troops and solidified his legendary status. However, his leadership was not without challenges and controversies. Some contemporaries criticized Richard for prioritizing military campaigns over consolidation of his power back in England, leaving his territories vulnerable. Additionally, his decisions were sometimes seen as impulsive and reckless, potentially jeopardizing long-term gains for short-term victories. There are also alternative viewpoints that question the overall effectiveness of his leadership, noting that the Third Crusade ultimately failed to achieve its primary objective of reclaiming Jerusalem. Despite this, Richard's actions during the Crusade did lay the groundwork for the continuation of Crusader states in the region, influencing the broader geopolitical landscape. Richard's leadership in the Third Crusade not only epitomizes his role as a warrior king, but also connects deeply with his enduring legacy, influencing the perception of his reign both historically and culturally. His leadership style, characterized by both its strengths and flaws, serves as a lens through which his entire kingship and the broader narrative of the Crusades can be explored. Richard the Lionheart, known as the Crusader King, is celebrated for his military strategy and campaigns, which were pivotal in shaping his legacy. Military strategy refers to the planning and execution of movements and operations to achieve specific missions or goals, often involving the deployment and maneuvering of armed forces during warfare. Richard's military acumen was a cornerstone of his reign, particularly highlighted during the Third Crusade, where his bold tactics and strategic prowess became legendary. The significance of Richard's military strategy is profound. It not only defined his rule, but also played a crucial role in the broader context of the Crusades and the medieval power dynamics between Christian and Muslim territories. Richard's campaigns reinforced the idea of a Christian warrior king, bolstering the morale and unity of European forces engaged in the Crusades. His strategies were important in the temporary reclamation of territories and maintaining a fragile peace with Saladin, the famed Muslim leader. One notable example of Richard's strategic genius is the Battle of Arsuf in 1191, where his tactical brilliance secured a decisive victory against Saladin's forces. Richard's ability to maintain discipline and order among his troops under relentless pressure demonstrated his leadership skills and earned him great respect. Another significant instance is the Siege of Acre, where Richard's insistence on maintaining a stringent blockade and his negotiation skills eventually led to the city's surrender, a key victory for the Crusaders. Despite the acclaim, Richard's strategies are not without controversy. Critics argue that his relentless focus on military campaigns drained England's resources and imposed heavy taxes, leading to economic strain and unrest back home. Additionally, the violent nature of the campaigns and the overarching objective of the Crusades have been criticized from a modern perspective for their religious intolerance and the suffering inflicted upon civilian populations. Richard's military strategies and campaigns were deeply interconnected with other aspects of his reign. His military successes bolstered his reputation as a warrior king, yet they also strained his relationships with other European leaders, sometimes leading to political isolation. Moreover, his focus on the Crusades overshadowed domestic governance, leaving his territories vulnerable to internal conflicts and external threats. In sum, Richard the Lionheart's military strategy and campaigns were integral to his legacy as the Crusader King, illustrating his prowess on the battlefield and the complex interplay between warfare, politics, and leadership during the Crusades.